Good day, my dear friends. I hope you had a blessed week and you remain safe wherever you are at. On our last episode, we discussed the need to reposition our mindset, the value of positive outlook, and proper attitude. This shall be the basis upon which we shall be operating moving forward, and how the outlook, the attitude, and mindset can assist in managing any disagreement or conflict that may emerge in our respective homes during this time of lockdown. Lockdown has forced many couples to be stuck around each other unceremoniously. Absence and restrictions on movement has created homes into some solitary confinement of some sort, to a larger considerable degree, even something equivalent to house arrest. Before lockdowns, many hardworking men and women were used to escape their homes as early as 5 o'clock in the morning or 6 in the morning to beat traffic on their way to their respective workplaces. Some will return around 7 o'clock or 8 in the evening. When they arrive, due to stress and fatigue that emanated from workplace, the least they can do upon arrival is only to eat, bath, and sleep. Researchers show that successful young men and women who are aggressively pushing their careers, aggressively and massively growing their enterprises, spend around 17 hours in a day at their workplaces. On the remaining 7 hours, 4 to 5 they spend sleeping. At least 1 hour at home they do something that is still connected to their work. The remaining 1 hour is shared between the television, children, and the actual communication between the spouses. Due to lockdown, we have time in abundance. There are some men who were used on Fridays to stay behind in various entertainment spots, only to arrive on Friday evenings. Those who are brave could even arrive on Saturday morning hours. Those who are abnormally brave could even afford to arrive on Sunday evening, having left on Friday. But due to absence of social gatherings, we now have time at home. This time in abundance has presented two varying scenarios to different families. To some, it is a wonderful opportunity to get to know each other as spouses, get to know the children, help them on schoolwork, even complete some household chores. But unfortunately, to some, it has been so ugly that we continue to hear reports of gender-based violence at homes, which is very unfortunate and very uncalled for. What are we going to do now that conflict seems to be intensifying? Disagreements are escalating, tempers are reaching boiling point, and tolerance seems to be depreciating. Today, we shall be discussing what could be the underlying reasons for this and how can we continue to use our positive attitude and mindset in resolving these disagreements constructively. Fact of the matter, when two people spend more time together, it is given that chances of fighting is high. I, for one, happen to work with my wife. We co-own our organization. Even on some projects that I'm pushing, she manages them. Even in her company, I'm one of the employees. When we travel together. There is no one that I fight with each day than her. Those who have been around me can testify to that. As a black Sotho man, I didn't take it lightly to be confronted or to be questioned by a woman. As a lawyer who is used to interrogating or cross-examining, I can literally find fault on each and every sentence that one may utter. As a coach of debate and public speaking, toastmaster and an adjudicator, I am trained to win arguments. Here on the other side, as someone with strong character, highly opinionated, and ambitious, when these characters meet, it's a bomb. But we had to learn how to manage the conflicts amicably and constructively. Simply because there are fights or disagreements in your relationship, that does not signal that there is a real problem. In fact, disagreements, if managed well, can improve and grow a relationship. It is only when they are not managed well that they can escalate and create ill will that can end up in divorce. As a divorcee, I am a witness to that. Therefore, we need not be worried that much of the prevalence of conflict. The issue is how to manage them. If you are in a relationship and you don't have any disagreements or conflicts, immediately after this lockdown, you must rush to your psychiatrist, your sangoma, whoever that you seek help to check if your mental faculties, either of your mental faculties, are still operating well. Now, let's come back quickly to the household. Why the disagreements now? There are some men and women who are bosses at their workplaces. They are used to lashing, barking, and shouting at their employees when giving out orders. The same skill that they have earned at work, they find themselves implementing at home now to their children or their spouses. Many men have been involved in bitter wars with their children over remote control for the television. I, for one, have been on such battles where I want to watch the ministers while they are updating us on how these levels are going to be operating. On the other side, my wife wants to watch her usual Z World. My boy wants to watch Takalani Sisano or Hectic 99. Then it becomes a problem. It only dawned on me now that I must ensure that once these lockdowns are lifted, I'll secure television sets for other rooms. All along, I never saw any need to have many television sets because I was hardly at home. But now we are at home, I see the problem. Besides that, many men and women were used to leaving chaos whenever they leave in the morning. They will leave mess, things scattered all over because the helpers or the nanny will clean that mess. Unfortunately now, there are no nannies or helpers. They left before Easter holidays. At the time when lockdown were extended, they found them in their provinces or their district. There is no public transport. There is no one to clean that mess except you or your spouse. Women get very agitated when they have to be following either children or even the adults cleaning behind them. Because of this, many have been involved on the issue of a mug that was left on the table that had just been cleaned, or someone who left the bed not prepared while he was sleeping during the day. Besides that, many have been fighting over the issue of cell phone. Others are complaining that the other spouse spends the whole day on the phone, while the other one will be busy preparing the meals, looking after children, and cleaning the house. This has become an issue. What are we going to be doing to manage this disagreements or conflicts that may appear small as of now? A lot of marriage counselors have devised, experts on issues of marriage have devised a lot of tips, some research-based, others very questionable. For the purposes of today, I just want to address two of those tips that I personally have tried and tested, and I found them working. Probably you may find them working too, depending on the character and the personality of your wife or your husband. 1, be direct. When there is something that you are complaining about, you should be clear what it is. If you have a tendency of talking indirectly, gathering more, a lot of people who are good speakers or talkatives are struggling a lot on this one. If you have a tendency of condescending on underlying hostilities, in my language, it becomes a problem because the other spouse whom the complaint is lodged against can't really figure out what is your actual problem. He or she can only figure out that, yes, I can hear you are irritated, but as for what exactly, it becomes a problem. Lack of directness makes it impossible for him or her to assist in solving that very issue. If you are complaining about the mug that was left on the table, you must stick to that. You should be able to pick your battles. Don't mix each and everything. If you were discussing the issue of the mug, the next minute you escalate, you complain that it is because of this cell phone of yours that you are always on. Hence why you smashed my vehicle last month while you were drunk. Hence why you borrowed your friend money and he never returned. In less than an hour, that argument will have reached the girlfriend who was impregnated last year. Then it will be a complete chaos. The minute it is like this, then we have a problem. The other party is going to feel like he or she is being attacked. And naturally, Once someone feels like he or she is being attacked or criticized, it becomes automatic to want to defend. And the minute the other one wants to defend, there is a possibility that he or she may rise to that level of anger that the other one is already on. The minute both reach that level, this is what we call negative reciprocity. Now they are trading off war. Insults are likely to emerge. And as a divorcee myself, I'll tell you that once you are operating at that level, you are heading to divorce, which is a very unfortunate incident that I don't want any of you to reach. So make sure that you are clear. If you want to discuss the issue of the girlfriend who was impregnated, stick to that. Don't mix it with the dishes that were not washed. Second issue, you must be able to put yourself in the shoes of the other person. Judge the matter from the perspective of the other person. If this person is complaining that since morning you've been on the phone, you should imagine yourself as that particular someone. How will you feel if since morning you had to cook, prepare the children, clean the house, the other person was lying on the couch, on the phone? We don't care what he or she was doing on that phone. Even if he was borrowing money to pay the next renter or buy the food, as far as the other person was observing from the other side, he just sees that person as insensitive or irrational. Then it becomes a problem. The minute you are able to put yourself in the shoes of the other one, this shall assist you not to be quick to object. This shall make you at least to listen attentively. It is only when you are at that position that the manner at which you shall react shall at least assist to cool off that particular someone. It is only when you are able to put yourself in the other person's shoes that you shall be able to be smart to apologize as quick as possible. There are other tips that we shall be having. Let's be together next week. You can follow me on my Instagram, Matsasen Ralekwala. You can also follow me on my YouTube, Say MDC Ralekwala. Enjoy the week.